Hello, my brothers and sisters. This is Gerritt Bake, your situational expert, creator of Warrior Guardian, the Daily Armor podcast, and a few other cool things. So, today's topic is, holy shit, I can't breathe. I love oxygen. Let's get that out there. And I think most of you do too. You just don't appreciate it very much. One of my joys is distance running. I love to run distance runs. I love to run marathons. I'm up to 10 and counting. And to run over 3 hours in a period of time, you need a lot of oxygen. Also, not very good at swimming. Probably because you don't get to use as much oxygen as you do when you're running. That and the fact that I never learned how to do it probably helps it as well. So this story though isn't about sports. As part of my ongoing training for SWAT, I had to get a few certifications. One of them was with something called an SCBA. SCBA stands for Self-Contained Breathing Apparatus. You see divers wear it. It's the two tanks on the back with the mask, right? Firefighters wear them too. Now you're asking yourself, why would police officers need to wear them? Well, guess what? Police officers need to go into buildings sometimes where there's smoke, where there's other harmful chemicals, where there's things going on where they're going to need this as well. So I had to get certified in wearing this SCBA, this self-contained breathing apparatus. So part of that was me going to a week-long school where they taught us about everything we needed to know, about oxygen and pressure and tanks and a bunch of other stuff I don't remember anymore. One of the things that we had to do was a practical. So on the last day, we did this practical, which involved learning how to don and doff, which means putting it on and taking it off, as well as going through different situations and being able to function with the equipment on, right? So once we got to this fire department training facility, they showed us what we were going to have to do. The first part was real simple, real smoke-filled building. We're going to have to go through, grab some objects, be able to move them around, bring something out, that kind of thing. The second part was the final part, and that was we had to crawl through this concrete tunnel that they'd created, and it was about 50 yards. So what they told us was that the tunnel progressively got smaller and that there were some obstacles in there. That's all they would say. I'm like, great. So off we went. I got dressed, I turned on my air, everything was good to go. Went inside the smoky building, got all the tasks done, everything I needed to do there, passed that one. Real simple, real controlled environment. I knew I wasn't the first one to go through this course. So the next part was the more difficult part for me, right? The guy's like, hey, I'll see you on the other side. Literally get on your hands and knees and just start crawling. So I took a deep breath and I started to crawl. And as I'm crawling in this tunnel, I'm crawling. All of a sudden the space starts to get smaller. And so what was initially a crawl on my hands and knees turned into an army crawl on my stomach and with my elbows. And I started to freak out. Pitch black, I couldn't see anything. I'm breathing, right? Trying to get enough oxygen into me. Feels like I'm not getting enough, and crawling, and I've got this tank on my back, and the tank keeps moving back and forth and hitting the walls, and I thought I was going to get trapped. I was like, hey, people have made it through here before, just keep going. That's what I kept telling myself. So I kept going. 1 inch in front of another. And then I came to this section that had what I later discovered were wires. Literally loose wires kind of hanging around. And I had to make it through these wires. So not only could I not see, but now I had to maneuver myself and my pack through these wires. Well, I started to get through these wires, and soon enough, I actually got stuck. There was a wire that got stuck on the top of my pack that I could not get undone. I could not get through. Confined space, couldn't move. Now I'm stuck in the dark. I can't breathe, and I start freaking out. Like literally cannot get enough oxygen. I'm like trying to get this oxygen out, and it's just not happening. And literally I could see like everything starting to just close in front of me. And I was like, okay, this is the end. Like I'm literally going to die in this tunnel. Like pretty ridiculous, right? But here I was in this moment and I was stuck and I could not see a way out. So for me, it seemed like everything was lost and that was going to be the end. Suddenly, there's a latch that opened up above. Light pours in and I see a man. And this man literally just asked me, hey man, how you doing? I was like, I want to punch somebody in the face. He kind of laughed a little bit. But he told me, hey, listen, relax. I'm going to get you through these wires. And so he did. He's like, move this one here, put this here, step here, or crawl here, do this, do this. And he got me through the wires. So after that, he told me, hey, around the corner, you're going to see this, go through this, and then you'll be able to make it through. You good? Yeah, I'm good. Then he closed the latch. So because of his help, I was able to finish this course, right? And I remember getting around the last corner and seeing the light. I saw the light, and I couldn't get to the light fast enough. And so I crawled, and eventually got to the light, got outside, took this stuff off, and I mean, I don't remember the last time I was that happy. Stand up again, be able to inhale oxygen, fresh air, as much as I could fill my lungs with. It was an amazing feeling, right? So I'm sitting there down in a bottle of water and I'm thinking about my situation. And I was like, why has this been so difficult for me? Why did I panic? See, it was real simple. I hadn't been there before. I hadn't experienced that before. So I panicked, right? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And you just freak out. Your body naturally does that. So ask yourself, where in your core 4 have you panicked and froze when trying to finish something? Something that was new or something that you hadn't experienced before. Even though somebody told you that, hey, you can do this. See, money can buy most things, but money can't buy experience. That, my friends, has to be earned. But the cool part is you don't have to do it alone. Like literally, the first time that I tried to figure out how to turn this camera on, I had no idea how to do it. Like it literally requires my camera, a mini HDMI cable, an HDMI cable, a converter, a Thunderbolt that connects to a program that I had to buy, like all these steps to get in, to get this, the mic, talking to the earphones, to talking to the computer, like all this stuff, because I am not a tech savvy guy. And I was starting to get real angry and real frustrated. But then I reached out to somebody who had experience in this field, and he was able to guide me through this process, right? So write down one area of your life where you panicked, where you froze, and how experience would have made it different. Real simple. All right. So that is it for today's program. I need you to do a couple things. 1, I need you to like this. 2, subscribe to it. 3, comment. I love comments. Put some comments in there. Let's start a conversation back and forth. And I also need you to go to Facebook and Instagram at Warrior Guardian. Follow us. We got some really cool stuff going on over there. All right. Last but not least, stay safe. And we'll see you in the next one.